for some reason. So can you just send it to me again? Oh, sounds like our guest is here.
Hey,
We hear
I
you.
think I'm here.
We hear you.
Hold on.
That's okay. You're good. We're all about this is how we roll. This works. Excellent. Look at that.
Oh, here I am.
That's phenomenal.
Perfect.
All right, let me play this. Pipe it.
Everyone, would you please welcome to the Putting You Over podcast, your favorite cousin, Kody
yeah.
Lane.
I'll
Excellent.
have to start using that.
Oh, you can have it. We'll send it to
It's
you.
an entrance.
That's our hype man, Ryan Romano. Does all the intros.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. How are you tonight? Are you in the trailer?
I'm good.
Are you in the trailer?
I am at an undisclosed location.
That's the way it should be. See, Vanessa's in the
Yeah.
trailer. We don't gotta. We were gonna hang up on you if you weren't in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then just blame it on the weather or something. So you bought this trailer. So is it like a road rules extreme challenge? Like, what are you traveling around?
Yeah, man. When things start opening up, I'm gonna travel from just east to west, south to north, anywhere.
Anywhere they need you.
Anywhere
Anywhere
they need me.
the Southern Flamingo flies. So I was saying to Vanessa at the start of this, my story for prepping for you for today's show is extremely interesting. Because I went into my little Google machine and I typed in Kody Lane. And I typed in Kody Lane. I want to watch matches. So I typed in Kody Lane. I clicked videos and I got a long list of pornos.
So yeah. So that's the problem. So there's a Kody Lane.
Yes.
That's CODY.
Yes.
And then there's me, KODY. So that's what that's the big issue with me and her. But she recently died.
Yes, and I was gonna bring. So that's okay. So here's where it gets. So I said, "Oh, it's with a K." So after I looked through a couple videos for a while, I then stumble upon the tragic fact that she had actually died. She was killed in a drunk driving accident. I didn't read any farther because I didn't want it because I was like, "Oh crap, this sucks." So yeah,
this happened like in January too. Like I didn't even know about it until like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was January of 2021. Yep. So rest in peace, Kody with a C. So
yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. That's right. So it is Kody with a K. But how do you go from like zebra tights, black boots, a vest, and a straw cowboy hat to what we have right now?
Damn. So my trainers gave me that back in like 2014 because I'm from Oklahoma.
Yeah, cowboy, obviously.
Yeah, just I'm from there, so they automatically thought being a cowboy and being like that type of like redneck that'll work. But I didn't really want to be like, because they wanted me to wear like jeans and boots and all that jazz, and I wasn't feeling it. And then like last year during the pandemic, I am a redneck at heart, kind of white trash. Just it's just in my blood.
That's how it works.
Unfortunately,
it's all right.
So, and I wanted to come up with something different that would translate well because everybody knows a redneck and everyone at least likes a redneck. So I feel like I would do that, and I say a bunch of crazy stuff outside of wrestling anyway. So I figured I would put that inside the wrestling ring and in my promos to see if that would translate well. And so far, it's working out okay.
What's the craziest thing you have brought from your real life into the promo world of wrestling?
Oh man. So I do like ketchup.
Oh, hot or cold? Or not hot, room temperature or cold?
Oh, I like it cold.
Cold, me too.
Cold with a little bit like pepper and stuff on it.
Yes.
If you want to get fancy, I used that in a promo, and then I also smoked a cigar out of my wife's foot once during a promo.
Sounds about right.
I feel like that's what really kicked things off. So.
With your wife or the promo?
My wife. That's what with the promo. Yeah, but couldn't done it without her though.
It's true. Very underrated. Valet. What? So, what do you love? What's drives your passion for wrestling? What motivates you?
This is going to sound pretty cliche, but
That's all right.
I've been wanting to do it since I was like 9 or 10. And man, just like just the love of pro wrestling, just the love of it. That's what drives me. I've always wanted to do this for a living, so just really striving to make this as a living and doing what I love, and being happy doing it as well. That's what drives me.
Were you into like as a kid? Were you into sports? Like what drove you into wrestling? Who introduced you to wrestling?
So a friend of mine, when I was about 8 or 9, he introduced me to just like ECW tapes on VHS.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. So like I got to see Jerry Lynn, Sabu, RVD, all those guys, and I was like hooked from there.
Yeah.
And no, I didn't play sports or anything. A small town in Oklahoma, like town of 400 people.
No football or anything? Wow.
So I played football, but I was like really scrawny as a kid.
Okay.
And I bruised easy, and I said I don't want to do it. I bruised easy. So I just jumped on a trampoline a lot and got like athletic during that. Just jumped on a trampoline and swam a bunch. So when I turned 18, I told my mom, I was like, hey, I want to wrestle. And my uncle, who lives in Austin, Texas, and that's where I trained at.
Okay.
I found a wrestling school there because he lived there. And I lied to her and I said, this is the best wrestling school in the world. I have to go to it. And she believed me. So then, like, long story short, she said if I could get a job down there, I could go. And I got a job, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. So you make it down, you make it to the greatest wrestling school in the country in Texas. What school was that?
So it's called America's Academy of Pro Wrestling, ran by George De La Isla, aka Mr. Mexico, and another guy named Papa Don.
Papa Don.
Oh yeah. So I trained there, and then I got 6 months into it, and then I met ACH.
Okay.
And then he kind of took the reins from there. So I like to say he trained me as well. So he kind of took me on the road with him after that.
A lot of good road stories today. I heard while prepping for you. So you've traveled all over the world, which explains to me now why you have a trailer. Oh
yeah.
Up in Alpha One, up in Toronto, in up there in Canada. What was your biggest takeaway from that? What was the experience like up there?
Man, I think Alpha One is really what made me, like, as a wrestler wise, who I am today, because I was given the opportunity to wrestle like Rich Swann, Jake Christ, Ricky Shane Page. I got to wrestle Trey Miguel, Zach Wentz, Ace Austin. I got to wrestle like all these guys that I figured I wouldn't have to be able to wrestle these people on that level. And I think the biggest takeaway from that is like I probably wouldn't be where I am without Alpha One at the moment.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I know we've had several Canadian wrestlers on here before, and they all speak highly from Alpha One. So
I think that's the best wrestling promotion to me personally. Like everywhere I've wrestled, it's like locker room wise, atmosphere wise, crowd wise, it's just like this top notch all around.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, man. And it's funny because I remember back in 2018, I asked Ethan Page if I could come up there, and Shane Saber helped me get booked up there. So 2 weeks prior to me wrestling up there, I dislocated my elbow.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm not going to miss it. So I literally just wrapped it up and wrestled for A1 on a pretty much a broken elbow.
Oh.
Did 2 shows up there.
That hurts my elbow just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Did you ever, what happened to the elbow? So you work on it there, then you get to Alpha One. Did it just heal itself? Did you have to have something done to it?
Well, so it completely, so say this like ditch in my elbow is my actual elbow. It was like this. It was like completely the other way. So that happened in Louisiana. And someone dropped me wrong and it just dislocated. So they popped it in that night at the hospital. And I was like freaking out because it's just 2 weeks I was going to get on like a plane and go up there. And then I've just found like super tight, like wraps and everything. I just wrapped it up super tight. And at first that Friday I wrestled for super kicked, and then Sunday I wrestled for A1, and man, like it. I mean, my arm held up just fine.
Yeah.
I was bending it and all that stuff. I mean, it was a little sore afterwards, obviously, but I powered through it.
When you were showing me your arm there, I saw you have several tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Tattoo guy. The one I'm interested about is the one on your chest. I think it's correct me if I'm wrong, an octopus.
Yep.
Yeah. What's the meaning behind that?
So, always been a fan of like the water. Like I said, I could jump on a trampoline, swam a bunch.
Swim.
When I was younger, I had like a scar on my chest.
Okay.
From like a allergic reaction, and I was like, well, what can I do to cover it up?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just get an octopus. So it's not really that deep of a story, but you know.
You're just like, well, let me think. I like the water. I like ocean animals. Yeah, I'll get an octopus. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works. Looks great.
No other meaning behind it, and it looks cool.
It does look badass. I have no tattoos. I've always wanted one, but I'm a real big pussy, so I haven't gotten one yet. So,
dude, you gotta get one, man. Don't get one on your back. That's the worst pain.
I would have to get one where I could see it. That would be my validation. So I could look. So I could just like fawn over myself. Like I don't even know somewhere. But I never got one. I've been thinking about getting the Roman numeral 3 somewhere because it's my favorite number, and I have 3 daughters, so I thought that'd be cool.
Oh, that's perfect.
But yep, still pussy, so no tattoo. No tattoo for me. You're down in Texas, you're training, but you took the basics. You learned you technically ran the ropes, not in a wrestling ring. Is that correct? You ran them on a softball field. How do you run ropes without ropes?
Yeah, so like I said, when I was lying to my mom telling this is the best place ever, I signed up on a Monday. I'm sorry, I signed up on a Wednesday, and that Friday they said you start training. That was the day we took down the ring because I think they got like evicted or their lease was up or something, but they didn't have a spot. So we went to this place called Bartholomew Park in Austin, Texas, and I learned how to do a side headlock takedown on a baseball field, and I learned how to run the ropes on a basketball court.
That's amazing.
The craziest shit is that it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
We got in the ring 3 months later, 2.5 months later, and it worked. All the footsteps were there.
That's interesting. Like, see, I've never done any wrestling training, but I would think in order to learn to run the ropes, I would need ropes. But I guess you don't. I guess you don't need ropes at all.
Nah.
Oh,
that's all fooey, man. You don't need no rope. You don't need a wrestling ring to learn wrestling.
Don't even need a ring. Good. I have a trampoline. Okay, so I have a trampoline and I have a pool. So I'm almost there to the Southern Flamingo, and I can just run. I can run anywhere. I can run ropes across the street, back and forth. Not me personally.
I can do it all, y'all.
Yeah, not me personally, but my daughters. I'm gonna get them in. I'm gonna live my wrestling life through them. One of these days,
dude. Just get somebody who knows how to like run the ropes and just teach them. Just get a basketball court and you're set.
Yeah, exactly. That'll work. Well, I don't even know where to go from there. Vanessa was showing me your Twitter stuff before we got on, and she yelled at me because normally I do a great job and I see all that, and we were watching one where your social media game was on point. That's how I would say it, because you're walking up to someone in a car, and you ask them if they follow you.
Yeah.
And they go, who are you? And you're like, well, fuck you. And left. How many people did you do that to that day?
Man, I'd say about 5.
About 5. Did anybody know who you were?
No one knew who I was, man. I just went down a random street and I was like, someone's got to know who I am. It turned out I was 0 for 5.
0 for 5. That's okay. Maybe you'll be 5 for 5 on the next one. Be 50%.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe that video got across,
For sure. And I think that's a good point. Like social media for wrestling in today's day and age is vital. We are coming off a pandemic, still in a pandemic, in an endemic. However you look at it, it doesn't matter. Was social media one of your focal points during this time? Like, I mean, were you locked down? How'd you get through this pandemic?
Yeah, so things shut down around like March of last year, And my social media, everything was shit last year, like or anything before then. And I at first I was like, I gotta switch it up. This is a chance to switch it up to do something different since everything's locked down. So I came up with the Southern Flamingo character, which is like flamingos are associated with white trash people or the Southern people. So I was like, let's just do the Southern Flamingo and see what happens. And then I went to a friend's house back in Oklahoma to go visit. And thank God I know rednecks, because they had guns, they had like 4-wheelers and golf carts and all that shit. So I was like, can I use this for like a day and you just take a bunch of pictures of me and videos? So like I started doing that. I filmed like 15 videos and started posting one like every 3 days, and then just to build up from there to see if I can get the character going.
Oh, it's on. That character is on point. On point.
Oh, thanks, man.
And like you said earlier, it's you're redneck. It's an extension of yourself for the most part, and it works. The flamingos, the shirts, always on call. My favorite picture today on Instagram, you were sitting on the toilet.
Oh yeah,
taking a call. I wanted to use that. But my Photoshop skills were not on point, so I couldn't get you. I got you off the toilet, and then I know where to put you on the screen, and I'm like, I don't know, but
I might make that a T-shirt. You never know.
You definitely should. There are a lot of good pictures on that Instagram. So the redneck gimmick is going over. I mean, it's working, and I think from what I've heard. They tried to push you as a cowboy. You have now morphed. This is what is the result of them pushing the cowboy on you. It resulted in a Southern Flamingo.
It's so funny too, because they wanted me to be this country character or whatever, and I was just so against it.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of reverted back into I am a country character. It's just
you are right.
It's just it all circled back, but it's different. It's my way.
Yes. Yeah, you did now. When you put that straw hat on, it's gonna make sense. There's a story behind it.
Absolutely. Now I need to get that straw hat back, and it'll all work out. Maybe I'd put some rhinestones on it, deck it out.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, boot scooting boogie. That's how you're going out.
Oh, shit. Thank you for saying that. So what like I had the zebra tights and everything. Yep. It was my first wrestling match ever. My family was coming down and everything. And I wanted to use "Stroke Me" by Billy Squier as my first ever theme song, obviously.
Yep, of course, makes sense.
So, right before I went out, they went, "Oh yeah, we changed your theme song," and I came out to "Boot Scoot Boogie" as my first ever theme song.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Yeah, I had that written down. I forgot to throw it in the first part because there's give the man a cowboy hat. Crank up that boot scooting boogie. They probably should have had you line dance all the way out there.
They tried to get me to do everything like that. They wanted me to come. They wanted me to come out and start chewing tobacco, and I'm just like, you want me to get an addiction for this gimmick?
Exactly. ACH. You said helped change it. Took you under his wing. What resonated? What did you learn the most from him? What resonates the most?
Whatever resonated the most, he really taught me the business side of pro wrestling, on how to just talk to people and he wrestling wise in the ring, he taught me how to communicate with the crowd, take your time, and just really learn how to just work, and because I used to when you're young you get overzealous in the ring and you get very nervous and stuff, and he's the one who taught me not to do like that. So
yeah, he's great.
I also owe a lot to him too. He's took me under his wing 6 months in, and he pretty much taught me everything I know.
Yeah. Who else do you owe a lot to?
ACH, Ricky Starks. He was down in Austin. I actually met him at the park. So I met him my first month or so in. He would come in there and help us lock up and stuff.
Interesting.
And then there's another guy named JoJo Bravo. He's probably legit one of the best wrestlers that I don't feel like a lot of people don't know about him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, JoJo Bravo. If you're ever interested, look him up. He's wrestled everybody.
Yeah,
he's the man. So yeah, those three guys are for sure the people I really owe a lot to.
Yeah, you were mentioning people like Silent, a lot of Ring of Honor. I had Young on the brain because of Silas Young, Gresham, Beer City Bruiser, those type of guys you kept mentioning. Yeah, all great guys. Gresham is top notch over there in Ring of Honor. Beer City Bruiser we've had on here, and Silas Young, your character fits right in with his.
Yeah, me and him did a tag match once at for CWE. I don't know if you've ever heard of those people like in the west of Canada.
Vanessa might have. I haven't.
Canadians Wrestling Elite. That's what they call them. So they used to do these tours where it's like 12 days long. You wrestle 12 days straight. I did them 3 times, and I met Silas on the last one. Me and him tagged together, man. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I get to meet all those guys there.
Love Wrestling CA up in Canada in the chat says Canadian Wrestling Elite headed up by Danny Duggan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, Danny Duggan. I haven't seen him or heard from him in years.
Yeah. Are we gonna ever see you put the mask on again as the Great Depression?
No, never.
Never? Not even.
That was the worst.
That was the worst gimmick ever. Not even one time?
I'll do it once and then throw it in the river.
There you go.
Like the first time I ever wrestled in that mask gimmick, I got hit in the nose.
Oh.
And it's a potato sack, essentially. And then there's another film of like fabric over it. So my nose started to bleed, and then it soaked that first layer of fabric. So pretty much I just waterboarded myself with my own blood and then wrestled another like 5 or 8 minutes.
Oh, that just hurts thinking about it.
Yeah, man, I've had some random shit happen to me.
Like what else?
Man, I've had a bunch of I broke my tailbone once.
How?
Oh God.
I did a dive off the apron like a rolling senton off, and then I didn't get caught, and I snapped my tailbone. Yeah, that hurt. I had to go to work the next day, and I used to lift like heavy boxes when I went to work. And let's see, dislocated my elbow, sliced my eyebrow like wide open, separated my AC joint in my left shoulder. Now I got like my collarbone kind of pokes up a little.
Yeah, that's fine.
I got a concussion, multiple concussions.
So
it's whatever. I feel fine.
Yeah,
I'm back to normal.
You're doing fine. You're in your trailer. You're traveling around, randomly
I'm vibing out in my trailer.
Randomly asking people if they know you. I'm gonna start doing that, by the way, too. It's gonna be.
You should, and then get really angry when they don't know who you are.
I would get punched in the face. I'd be like, well, Kody Lane told me, the Southern Flamingo told me to do it. Maybe I should start asking people if they know the Southern Flamingo.
You should ask them if they know me, if they just record it and see if they do.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Let's get that trend going.
Yeah, everyone should do it. May 22nd, Glory Pro.
Yes.
Wild Ambition. I just learned about right before you came on because my prep was terrible. What do we got going on? Fatal 4-Way there? Hakeem, Myron Reed, Jake Lander. That's a hot match.
Yeah, Fatal 4-Way. It just came off of Fatal 4-Way at the last show. So I kind of got like a step up from the 3 other dudes. So,
yeah.
I mean, the numbers don't lie.
Yep. Got the numbers advantage. Myron Reed just won the middleweight championship back in MLW. It's good.
Yeah, I saw that.
And what'd you say, Vanessa? Hakeem is the champ in Glory Pro?
Yes.
Yes. Correct. That should be a good match. May 22nd. Can we watch that? Is it streaming somewhere?
So I think they record on High Spot. So I think the show will happen Saturday, and then it'll be dropped like maybe that next Thursday or Friday, I think.
Okay.
So it drops pretty soon.
Interesting.
And then I think July 25th is the next one. So
you just pull up there in your trailer?
Yeah, I just park it. I park it, and then I got to park kind of far away since it's kind of large. And then I think about putting floaties on it so I can float it across the river when I go from Missouri to Illinois.
Do you when you park it and you're there? Let's say you're there for a few days. You park it. You put the pink flamingos out front. Do you barbecue?
Yeah, and then I just stack them up and then just wipe the parking tickets off when I leave.
Oh. That's funny. That is some funny stuff. Yeah. I could just picture you now driving around. I was a big Road Rules guy growing up watching
right, okay.
it on MTV. Now I just picture you in your trailer riding around to your shows, your events, in the shenanigans. I want to see that. Oh, I know what else I saw on your Twitter. It was a picture of you and some other Rev something.
Yeah.
And it had
that's my buddy.
Okay, so the picture was you and this Rev. What's his name?
So his name's Rev Spin is his Twitch name.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering because it had a Twitch there, and I was like, oh, does he have a Twitch? Because I don't have that link in the bot, but it's your friend's Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So so that was it. So what'd you guys do?
So I started a podcast, and I know that's
Yeah.
a lot of wrestlers start a wrestling podcast, but I don't really talk about wrestling on mine. I just I pick random events.
There you
go. I'll do loose research on like a history subject or a person in history and time.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about that. I just had Shane Saber on a few weeks ago. We talked the history of space exploration, and then we got on the topic of dinosaurs and a bunch of other random shit.
Oh, that sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun.
Right?
It is it's like drunk history, but a little sober.
Yeah. Sounds like our show, except without the history.
Yeah.
That does sound fun. What's the name of this podcast?
So at first I was going to call it Hey Y'all podcast, but I think I'm going to call it Far and Wide because you go far into a subject and then we widen out to a bunch of other different shit. So we'll call it Far and Wide. That's the new podcast
Far
name.
and Wide. Can we get some conspiracy theories on there? You want to talk those?
Absolutely. Tell me something. I'll do them. I'll do something for you. I'll get some guests.
All right, let's see.
There's a bunch of wrestlers in St. Louis. I'll gather a bunch of them. We're all dumb.
So,
oh goodness.
Which one of the bouncers was into the conspiracies? Was it Beer City Bruiser or was it Brian Malonis?
Malonis.
It was Malonis. What were we talking about? Bigfoot. We talked about Paul McCartney really being dead. I forget what some of the others were, but those are good. Holden Albright. He'll do that all day with you. He'll talk from conspiracies till the cows come home.
Oh man, he's all about that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So you got the Glory Pro show coming up. What else is on the horizon?
So I got heavy. I just got off doing heavy metal in San Antonio, Texas. We just went down there. So be on the lookout for I can't say nothing much right now, but be on the lookout for a very special video because this video that we produced, it's technically a cinematic match, but it got the San Antonio Police Department called on us. So be on the lookout for that.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah. So I'm going back there June 12th and 13th.
Nice. Awesome.
So and then
is that the open challenge or was this one that passed that you just finished? Was that the open challenge?
Yeah. So the one that passed, we filmed the open challenge, and then we did that on Thursday, and then on Friday I wrestled a guy named T-Ray in San Antonio.
T-Ray.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's a large man.
A big fella.
Oh yeah.
Did you hit him with a flamingo?
I hit him with my long legs, so I mean that counts.
Yeah, suppose that does.
Yeah. For
sure. Well, Kody, we're nearing the end of the show here.
Okay.
I feel like we didn't even scratch the surface. We gotta have him back on, don't you think, Vanessa?
For sure.
I feel like we did.
Absolutely.
First of all, we love your character. Whether it's dialed up to 11 or not, it's great. It's great stuff. Social media game on point as well. We look forward to Glory Pro at High Spots whenever it does drop. So yeah, it's great stuff. But I'm going to give you the mic now, and you can put over anything you want. You can bury anything you want. You can you can talk literally. Look, the floor is yours. You have no filter. I will not interrupt. Go ahead.
Dang. I'll follow me. So if you don't know me, and if you don't follow me on Twitter. It's very Kody Lane. It's Kody with a K. And on Instagram, it's very_Kody Lane. And then my YouTube channel is youtube.com/Kody Lane.
Excellent.
I won't get too wild. And I won't spurt off too much crazy stuff. I gotta save that energy.
Smart. Save it for the podcast, far and wide.
Yeah.
Merch. Can we get any Southern Flamingo merch anywhere?
Yeah, teespring.com/Kody Lane. It's going to have like my Southern Flamingo t-shirt. I got socks, stickers. I got face masks. I got all that stuff on there.
Excellent. Phenomenal stuff. Vanessa, you got anything?
I don't. I was just so excited because I kept scrolling through and seeing all like your little videos on Twitter, and I was like, I haven't even seen this person wrestle, but they need to be on my show because they're too funny. I just have to talk to them. They're funny.
Oh, thank you.
He gives me that. He gives me like a Zicky Dice vibe. Like just the character alone is great. And a hell of a match. I watched a ton of matches today. Darby Allin. I mean, I watched. Don't get me wrong. You're great in the ring, but character wise, on point. And keep it up. Southern Flamingo is great.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime. Doors open. You come back. Need anything? We definitely didn't scratch the surface.
Absolutely, man. I'd love to come back and talk about whatever.
Yeah,
I'll tell you anything.
Yeah, excellent, awesome. Have fun in the trailer, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Goodbye.
All right, guys. Bye.